when I married my wife, I married for, I'll say, a little bit potential, and my potential is based on how she took care of me. Meaning that how she cooked for me, catered me, X, Y, Z. I look at those things and say, okay, those are the things that I want from a wife. And then, of course, if I have kids, I know she wants to still demonstrate those things through the kids. Mm-hmm. So that's why I say a little bit of potential, because that's all I saw as. I didn't see her at, oh, she made this amount of money, she potentially make this amount of money, or she has this business and this. I didn't know. I didn't think of that. I saw where she's at right now at that moment, fell in love with her, and that's it. I didn't care if she, like you said before, if she maintained the same person she was from 2008 until now, I'm okay with it. Because that's what I married her on. Not based on what she could do, based on what she did do. She demonstrated the trait of the woman that I want as a wife, and someone to provide for me and also my kids, which I have kids now, and she does.
You know, I have been married once and engaged twice. And
that's a good thing, though.
Addition to my marriage, so I've been engaged technically 3 times, married 1 time, and I think if I had all of them lined up here, they would all say what you said. I asked her to marry me because of the way she takes care of me. And you, again, remember my ex used to sit and tell everybody. Like, this woman does everything for me. Like, the only thing he had to do was breathe on his own. Everything else, I lotioned his skin, I clipped his toenail, I learned to cut that man's hair, so if he did go to the barber, I could then give him a lineup. Like, I did everything for him. And that's why he wanted to marry me. Wasn't for potential, but I think it's so opposite for women. We see the yeah, you're great right now, but it's the what we want you to be, and we have to sometimes be realistic. Like, that may not be what he wants for himself. So are we having those realistic conversations and saying, if he were to be this guy right now, like Kevin Samuels used to talk about it. Rest in peace, Uncle Kevin. Kevin Samuels used to talk about it all the time, right? Where women would come on, he would say, would you get with a guy who made $45,000 a year? And most of the women would say yes, if he wanted to make more. And Kevin used to say, no, if he was happy making $45,000 a year for the next 40 years. And most of us, if we're honest with ourselves, are going to say no. We don't want that. We want a man who's going to be driven and ambitious and climb the corporate ladder or build their own business. I don't care if you're a tradesperson. I want you to have a business. Like, we've already planned this life that we see, and we're not being realistic with, can you love that person in their current state forever without the evolution?
Kind of piggyback a little what you said. Or I say this. This is why you may hear the saying from multiple guys online or just in person, whatever. We can see a girl at a Walmart.
Correct.
And base where she's at, not what she's doing, but what she's doing, how she look, and then how she treat us. That's what we're okay with that. Whereas women, it's like, okay, he does this now, but he made $45,000. Okay, that's cool right now, but he got to make more. Now, with that being said, if that's the route you want to go with, right? He makes this amount of money, and you want to make more. Is that conversation being had?
It has to be.
Is that something that we're assuming he's going to do, or are we talking about it?
It has to be. Here's the thing. It has to be a conversation that you're having, right? And I think communication was a very big thing in my last relationship, which is why the title of my show is Fuck Your Feelings, because one day my very big 6'9" ex looked down at my 5'5" self as I was doing, I don't know what I was doing, but he was telling me something and I didn't like it, so I was responding all in feelings, and he said, "Fuck your feelings." It was actually a hilarious moment in hindsight. But it was like communication became something that we drilled down on about everything. And it didn't matter if it was going to hurt the other person's feelings. We needed to be able to have a conversation. And so we used to call them fuck your feelings conversation. I knew that if he said we're having a fuck your feelings conversation, I needed to sit down and listen. Not listen to respond, listen to understand. I didn't get to invalidate his feelings or his thoughts because somehow what he said hurt my feelings. So that's really the definition of fuck your feelings.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to let you know, this conversation we had is not scripted.
At all.
We didn't go back behind the scenes and
at all.
Talk about XYZ. It's all shooting from the hip, right? And right there's a bullet point, which you just stated. Communication. That is probably the most, if not the most important thing in any relationship. Marriage or relationship, whatever you're in, communication is key. And one thing you said, which really gave you a brownie point on my end, is that when you talking about how your partner was having a conversation about whatever the topic is, you made sure for that time frame, you was like, I ain't gonna say nothing. Let him get his thoughts out. Because sometimes with men, we may not be able to articulate our things right away, especially if we're heating the moment, our minds running fast, and we're trying to get that out. We're not saying it right, but here's that moment in time of grace period. Let us get this out, and then we can talk about it. But like you said, if we're having a conversation and I'm trying to get the point out, but then you jump it in saying, well, you do this, nothing will get settled or resolved. But communication is very key. I mean, if we have bullet points, that's bullet point number 1, communication.